of the mangroves. This is Sungei Buloh, or Bamboo River, which gives the Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve its name. Once, these were prawn and fish ponds, feeding on the richness of the mangroves. Now, they make up part of the 130 hectares of the reserve, specially conserved and maintained for the enjoyment of everyone. Because Sungei Buloh is a rare oasis in the hustle and bustle of Singapore. Mangroves are some of the richest habitats in the world and a showcase of interdependency between animals, plants, and the environment. Mangroves are also important because they prevent floods and coastal erosion during tropical storms. They are the natural barriers that shelter the diverse coastal communities. But mangrove habitats are fast disappearing worldwide. In Singapore, less than 5% of the original mangroves remain today. In December 2001, Sungei Buloh was designated a nature reserve to conserve the mangroves for education, research, and recreation. The most obvious thing you'll notice are the exposed roots of the mangroves. These prop up the trees in the soft mud so that the mangrove stands strong, whether or not it's low tide or high tide. Life in a mangrove swamp ebbs and flows with the tide. At high tide, almost everything's invisible. But when the tide goes out, creatures come out to play. Mudskippers are probably the most interesting and delightful creatures of the mangrove. They're seen especially at low tide, skipping around the mud. Mudskippers are amazing fishes. Their bulging eyes stick out of the water and help them see. And their modified fins means they can propel themselves out of the water and glide around the mudflats as well. And they're very quick and sensitive to their surroundings. During high tide, these crabs climb out of the water to escape being preyed on. They form an important part of the mangrove ecosystem because they eat the fallen leaves, breaking down the nutrients for other plants. Try and spot this little guy, the horseshoe crab. And they've been contributing to science too. Horseshoe crab blood is being used in biomedical research. There are also those who make the mudflats of Sungei Buloh their second home. These majestic flocks are visitors from faraway lands. Each year between September and March, migratory birds like these waders make Singapore a stopover as they fly from as far north as Siberia and China on their winter journey to the south. The Sungei Buloh mudflats are rich with food like worms, an important refueling point for their long flight. Sluice gates around these former ponds control water levels so that when tides are high, some of these ponds can be kept at low water levels, exposing the mud. This way, the waders will always have a place to feed. The management of these man-made ponds therefore ensures a stable source of food for the birds. Like them, the graceful, long-legged egrets make Sungei Buloh a very special place. Apart from these special visitors, the park is also home to resident bird species like the herons. They're easily spotted from the park's heights, especially in the mornings and evenings. To ensure the park is always at top ecological condition, park staff also perform important scientific work. For example, we want to know the movement and condition of the birds in the park. Nest nets are set up early in the morning. Passing birds fly into them and fall into pockets. Conservation staff collect the birds. Some of the birds, like this collared kingfisher, have been previously ringed by Sungei Buloh staff. Ringing the birds enables conservation officers to monitor their movements, like how often they come to the reserve. The birds are then taken for quick checks and measurements before they're released again. It's important that we also keep records of the general condition of the mangroves and the water quality, which in turn can affect the wildlife and plant life in the reserve. Conservation monitoring is particularly important, as Sungei Buloh is an important wetland habitat with a diversity of flora and fauna. Like the Malayan water monitor, which you can spot quite easily around the reserve. Sungei Buloh is also home to the many local plant species, some of which we don't often get to see. But some species are introduced, specifically brought in to attract butterflies along our butterfly trail. To help you get the most out of your visit to Sungei Buloh, there are visitor facilities like the Nature Gallery. And the Prawn Watch program lets you experience one aspect of the prawn farmer's life. Nets are set up at the sluice gates of the prawn ponds. Prawns and other pond life are trapped. It gives us an idea of what's in the ponds.
Okay, this is actually the not the crispy bag. You see there's the angular, right?
And if you'd like to take a guided tour, no problem. Expert guides help everyone understand what can be found in the reserve and and some of the conservation issues too, and will involve members of the public with our volunteer guide program.
I love this place. I love the atmosphere here. I love the waves, and I think Singapore has so few nature reserves and really natural places. And so many Singaporeans just don't know anything about it. So anything you can do to spread it, spread the knowledge of nature and how we connected to it is important.
Schools have also adopted the reserve, and they help out too, taking visitors around their outdoor classroom.
I'm a nature guide here in Sungei Buloh Nature Park. I enjoy being a guide because it's like a special way of approaching nature and also letting other people know about nature as well.
It's incredible to be in Sungei Buloh Park here because it's actually like an outdoor classroom. It's amazing to see what you learn in the textbooks. Besides all the pictures, you get to really see them and witness them for yourself. The beauty of nature is actually amazing.
So it is very important for you to come here so you can really experience the little wildlife that we have left here in Singapore.
Yeah, I really like this place.
So you better come here now.
But remember, this isn't a zoo. Go about quietly. Don't disturb the animals and nests. Look out for the details and you'll be surprised what you can find. So, are you ready for an unforgettable experience? It's all here for you to enjoy, experience and protect. The Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. HSBC, supporting Sungei Buloh through the years.